Okay, I think we're set up and broadcasting now. So, are you happy for me to let people in?
Yes.
Hey, Mohammed, were you able to get my last minute slides last night?
Yeah, I got it. Yes, thank you, Ada.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Unfortunately, I have a bad connection, especially I am on the rec site, but today I have your presentation when I return back to the page. So thank you for your presentation. If you have if you need to make you as a co-host and you can share your slides, if you have any modification on it, it's about you. So no problem for that. If you need to share if you share your slides from my screen, I will. Okay.
Hello, everyone. I think we may be able to start right now. So welcome to the second town hall of this year, out of the series of the YMAC town halls. We are trying to gather every quarter maybe and try to share some of the learnings and share the news of what we're doing. So I'll be with you and Mohammed Sharaf and James supporting today. So can we all know who we are and YMAC and what we do, and we're trying to help and support the developing and implementing of our activities to the YMAC and young members. So every month, every town hall, we try to shed the light on on few of our projects. So the last town hall, we shed the light on Petrobol and the Ambassador Lecturer program, and this time we'll be speaking about our survey, sponsorship, and beyond the borders. So without further ado, can we go to the next slide, Troy, please? Yeah. So the members survey. We do a quarterly survey, or we try to make it quarterly. That can we go to the next slide? So we try to make members surveys that is the voice of you guys, and that we projected to the SPE board. So the whole members survey subcommittee role is to make sure that we design those surveys to reflect what you think, and they are always maybe coming around the theme. So the last one was trying to figure out about the membership and what do you know about YMAC programs and what do you don't know about, what is your favorite, and then we can verify those results, and if there's actions that needs to be taken, we take it to the board, and if everything is all right, and that's how we should go. We keep doing what we're doing, and this we should be coming with 2 more surveys towards the end of this year, one in the next quarter and one before the end of this year. I'll hand it over to Shawaf who will talk about the sponsorship right now.
Okay, thank you, Tariq, for your insights about the member surveys. I think we have a survey now on the LinkedIn profile. You can enter this and enter your insights about our activities and how can modify our activities in the next upcoming months and upcoming years. This is Muhammad Shawaf. I am a wind intervention engineer at Khalta Petroleum Company and a YMEC member. I need to highlight this only for something before going for sponsorship. First, in the town hall or in the YMEC, we have different activities and different events related to student and first grad, and also for young professionals who work in the industry. We have student paper contest, we have Petropol, ambassador lecture program, spotlight on YB. We have career pathways, which is about to be in the end of this month. I think James can help us at the end of our presentation today in Town Hall to show how we can benefit you to show this about the career pathways. We have activities in HCE and also emergent leader alliance. And also we have a new child in our YMEC activities, which is SBE Gaia Sustainability Program. I think Nihal will be a good person who presents that at the end of our presentation. So I will go forward for sponsorship. This team have been created this year in SPE YMEC team. So we have different potential programs like Emerging Leader Alliance, HCE Regional Paper Contest, and Petropol International Championship. Especially students have not able to afford these programs. So from our sides, we need to help the students to get inside these programs. So we work on a sponsorship this program, sponsorship energy transition, digitalization, and non-technical courses. So we created this team, or Nihal created this team this year to have a new insights about sponsorship. So any one of attendees today have any potential of his company to sponsor any of our events, you can send me after the presentation and town hall. And also, if you have a potential work or previous experience in sponsorship, you can send me and join our team for sponsorship to help us to get sponsorship for this potential program for young professionals and surveys and others events in YMEC. That is for sponsorship. I will hand over for our initiative Beyond the Borders. So I think who will present?
Yeah, it's me, Matteo.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, thanks for having me here. I'm Matteo Trizan from SP Italian section. And today I will introduce briefly what the Beyond the Borders initiative is. In the next slide, if you can go on, or if you can give me control. I will briefly answer these 5 questions, which are what is Beyond the Borders, what does typical Beyond the Borders, so from now on I will call it BTB event looks like, what we as the committee, BTB committee, and the people involved we've been up to in the recent months and years, and who's involved and how usually it is organized for you to know if you want to have one, to have one of your BTB events in your section, and then what's next. So, well, really briefly, Beyond the Borders is a common initiative by YPs and for YPs. It is an international initiative which usually up to now has been held in European region SPE sections, and it is a series of coordinated international events which are organized by one hosting section, SPE section, in which the hosting section have as guests YPs from other sections, usually neighboring or close due to, of course, travel needs and for sake of simplicity. But well, it's a 2 to 3 days event, and usually held on a long weekend, let's say, so Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and usually also Sunday. And well, it's what we as the committee have been up to is to ensure that coordination amongst the section is considered and always kept, and at the same time giving to the hosting sections the autonomy to have their own event with their own topic and with their own any kind of event, workshop, and in the future, in the next slide, we can see some more details about how typically a BTB event, what it deals with. So there is a theme, a topic, a guiding topic, which the hosting section selects, and there is a really wide mixture of activities. The first one, the key mission, I would say, of BTB is to network. So it's YP networking. YPs from different sections, from different countries get together. The number of participants is usually not so big. It's 20, 25 YPs. So this quite small number ensures human connections. So the YPs get to know each other, know different cultures, different points of view on the world, on the energy industry. So that's really the added value to this international initiative. And apart from networking, we have really different activities, such as technical development activities, such as field trips, business missions, or business visits, sorry, or cultural and community service events, such as those under the SPE Cares brand. We have soft skills development initiatives, such as roundtables, case studies, and other kind of initiatives and events, such as those held with student chapters. So really a wide, potentially really wide basket of initiatives can be chosen by the hosting section. And here in the bottom right of the slide, you can see how usually an event, what it looks like. I'm not gonna get into many details, but as you can see, it's on a long weekend, making it easier for the YPs to join, not to take so many days out of work. And well, one of the really interesting part is the funding. Basically, the hosting section usually, thanks to the sponsors, pays for almost all the expenses to the YP, so to the participants, international participants, so the accommodation and most of the meals. So the only thing that the international participant has to pay is basically the flight, which also shows the commitment of the YP. Otherwise, it might end up that if a YP doesn't pay for anything, that is not really committed, he might not show up. And so at least making the YP pay for the flight is considered as a commitment. So in the next slide, we could see the first event, some nice photo of the first edition. So it's been, the program has been created and ideated by YPs from France, Romania, and Italy in 2018. And indeed, in Paris, Bucharest, and Milan, the first 3 events took place. The initiative has been really, really liked, also from spot participants from other sections. And so basically, in the next slide, we can see the program which we had for 2019 and 2020, with many other European sections joining. The first 2 events in 2019 were held in France and in Romania, Paris and Bucharest. But then, as we all know, in 2020, COVID struck, and so our really tight schedule for 2020 had to be postponed. And actually, it's not been, well, the physical in-person events have been postponed, but we decided to switch to virtual. The mission of networking, of course, in a virtual way with a 1-hour event is not the same as in an in-person event, but still we wanted to keep the things, keep the brand the initiative going. So in the next slide, you can see that we had actually many virtual events. So we had 4 virtual events in 2020, and we had 4 virtual events in 2021. But finally, I'm really happy and glad to tell you that we are coming back to in-person events. So in the next slide, you can see that, well, this just summarizes a bit how we are organized. So it's the main sponsor here is Laura Precupano, so the regional director for Europe, and then we have the BTB committee, which is me, for which I'm advisor, Sirin, who presented this morning in the first session of the town hall this morning, and Kirill and Michael. And basically we take care of coordinating, and so getting in touch with all the sections involved, all the YP committees involved. And also on the other side of the slide, you see the YMEC BTB liaison, which is Guillaume from France, and he gives basically support for for potentially our long-term target, which I will not spoil. I will get back really soon in a few slides. So in the next slide, you could see actually our target. So as you can see for 2022, we're planning to have BTB physical, so in-person event in Vienna in June, and if we manage also in Italy in September. So that's big news for all of you, for all of you around Europe. But the other really, I would say the midterm target, so the longer goal is to expand also to other regions, and potentially on the long term to make it an official SPA format. So if any of your section or regions, such as the South America region, we already have the interest for the Permian basing section. So I mean, we're now getting in touch also outside Europe, and I'm really happy about that. And so, well, this is the objective basically. So to get to in-person events as soon as possible, and save the date for June, because BTB Vienna is happening. And on the long run, to spread the initiative. We have really positive feedbacks from participants. I've been a participant myself in 2019, and I guarantee you it's really a valuable event, a valuable format. And I would be really happy to see this event also in other regions outside Europe, because really it's a value added, an incredible value added for the YPs. And in the closing slides, I guess it's the last one, the next one, it's our motto, which is growing beyond borders together. It's basically summarizes the mission, which is networking. It's facing the future together as YPs. And well, again, thank you so much to YMEC for having me presenting the initiative. If you're interested in the initiative, follow us on social media. We're on LinkedIn. We are on Instagram as well. So click the follow button, and not to miss any news about future events and how the initiative will actually develop in the future. Thank you so much, and I leave the floor to the next one. Thanks.
Thank you, Matteo. Thank you for your presentation and your insight about the initiatives. So I need to thank you, Muhammad Tariq, for sharing his insights about member surveys. So now we have a slot of questions for YMEC initiatives. If you have a questions, now the time for that. I think there is no question, so I have a question, if you don't mind, Matteo, for BTP. So it's related to sharing insights about sections. So my questions about related to, if I have a section in the Middle East and I need to join this initiative, that is available for your initiative. I think you have mentioned that in your slides.
Yeah, no, actually, we have interest from some section. I think it's UAE or some other section. So if any of you interested in the initiative, just reach out to me, to us, through social media, or type me directly. I will share my email in the chat right after the intervention. So the best thing to do, I would say, is to to talk with the board, with your section board, and potentially to also create some, if you don't already have one, to create a network also with the YP chair or with the YP committees of your neighboring sections, because of course one of the thing about BTB is that it's a 2 to 3 days event, so it doesn't make sense for a YP from New Zealand to get to Italy for just 2 days. I mean, so obviously BTB has been structured and will probably be structured in the future as a regional event. So for people from I would say, make an example from France and Romania and Aberdeen to join in Italy, and from, for example, the UAE, Dubai, and Saudi Arabia to join in one place. I mean, that would make it really much easier than to have a one-day trip to go to the other side of the world to join a BTB. Also in terms of cost, because I repeat this, the only thing that the YP pays is the flight. If the flight is is really long and really expensive, I mean, we might not have that high participation. But again, my suggestion, if you're interested in the initiative, is first of all reach out to us, because it's we can provide suggestions, feedbacks or like hints on how to approach the planning of a BTB event. And yeah, basically after 2 really successful editions in 2018 and 2019, we kind of have the know-how which we can spread, and we are really happy to spread and to achieve this long-term strategy, which is to potentially see BTBs all around the world. It's such a really high value event, so I'd be really happy to see it also outside Europe.
Thank you, Mateo. Thank you for
Mohammed.
for your answer, and thank you for this great initiative. Especially, it's a great one, and have a potential for networking, and that is a core for working in SPE for overall and SPE International. So thank you for that. I need to highlight that we have today. We have 2 surprises. One of them is shared in our chat, which is shared by Nihal as the YMEC chairperson for 2022, about 10 opportunities for reservoir and well testing course, free courses, free for charge for who attend and participate in Townhall, and also fill the link have been shared by Nihal. The second surprise is the next slide. It's about YMEC SPE YMEC Townhall, and we have an introduction for Rebecca for joining us today from the 3 thermal technical sections. It's a great opportunity for us to having you today, especially it's a trending today, and one of the persons who are interested to hear about this technical section and new technical section as a petroleum engineer. It's me to have this opportunity to have the time to see what's behind this geothermal technical section and how to start this track. So Rebecca, that is the mic is yours, and I will stop sharing if you don't mind, and you can share your slides if you have.
Oh, do you mind just continuing to share? Because I apologize, I have to leave at
No problem.
in 10 minutes. But one of my great colleagues from our geothermal technical section, Jorge, I think, has also joined us on the call as well. And so I'd like to invite him to jump on and speak with me if he's still on. And first of all, though, if I may introduce myself, my name is Rebecca or Becky Schulz, and I have met several of you, at least virtually, but it's a pleasure to be able to join you today. So thank you very much. And it is also my pleasure to be able to introduce the geothermal technical section, which we are a brand new technical section. We've just started at the very end of last year. And so we are just in our 4th month of convening as a technical section. And we have an absolutely stellar board that's helping us to bring content together, particularly online content this year. And we wanted to reach out to WIMAC, one, to invite you to join us and learn along with us, and also to see what you may be interested in with respect to geothermal and training. Because geothermal is it is actually a large number of different technologies that are encompassed under one umbrella. So when we talk about geothermal, we talk about both direct heating and heat value chains. We also talk about electricity generation, some of that coming from conventional geothermal, and a lot of new trials coming out to new entrepreneurs and companies that are starting to investigate, are there ways that we can bridge oil and gas technologies, both from the subsurface and the surface, in order to expand the resource base for geothermal as well. And so perhaps Ali, Jorge, are you on the call? Because I'll hand it over to you to take it over from here, and then I'll jump in where as appropriate.
Don't worry, that's okay. Continue, please, Rebecca. Yeah. I think according. Can I continue, or Rebecca?
Oh, please, yes, please do.
Okay, yeah. According that you received a video, or the short video of Camilo, and the idea is to have some activities with you with the YMEC Townhall, and to promote. I think to promote for young students, young professionals, the geothermal activities. That this is that you can see the into the video. It's a short video. I think that it's we have time.
We can see it works. We had some problems getting it to work in the morning session,
Okay, don't worry.
Which is why I'm not sharing from my side, because I couldn't get the audio to work.
Okay, yeah, we can continue in the next slide, please, Mohamed. Okay, basically, we can see here the activities that what we can do. The geothermal technical section is not for adults, it's for young students, because for young professionals, because we know as a young professional that this is the next step for petroleum engineers, because that and that is the idea of you in your different sections to motivate, to promote that we as a petroleum engineers, we have the skills to promote the geothermal section, because we have the skills of geology, well testing, reservoir, drilling, facilities, and all those our skills that we can use in geothermal. And now the next step in geothermal is not a conventional geothermal, is to promote the enhanced geothermal system. I think that is the idea. It's that what we are going to do is optimize costs and resource in the business models, all that activities that we can actually habitually we can do in the oil and gas industry, and we can help to promote the geothermal. Next slide, please, Mohamed. Yeah, and this is our social media webpage. We have in Twitter, in the SP connection. Please, I want to promote that you can participate, because though there are many events, not only that we are promote the SPE events, how new professionals can be involved in these activities. There are a lot of fundings that not only the US, in Europe, as you know, last year, the Europe section, they organized the hackathon in geothermal and data analytics. And the idea is to promote the next hackathon this year, and the idea is to involve more young professionals. Please, next slide. And our on our LinkedIn page, please participate and try to comment, try to be involved in our discussions in the SPE. And you can see here when we promote this in our LinkedIn webpage, many professionals, many of them young professionals, they are interested to participate in this. Please, next session, next slide, please. Yeah, and this is our events. Today, for example, Postpress, part of our member, he's organizing the geothermal digital twins. It was today, and in May, the idea is to organize more activities related to, that is a new energy that we can, as a petroleum engineer, we can help, we can develop this. And for example, in June, we have a tower autonomous operations SP webinar. All those low carbon digital twins, all those activities are related to energy renewable, how all those activities that as a young professional, we have to be involved. And the idea in the SPATC, we are going to participate as well. And the idea is to invite you, all of you, to be part and to help us and to work together to organize some activities and how we can help each other. This next slide, I think is good. We are as I mentioned before, that the 22 SP Energy Geo Hackathon that involve how our skills in data analytics, or geology, reservoir engineering, well testing. Actually, last hackathon was related to this. How we can use this? Many of us know about that to use in the oil and gas. Now we can do this, and there are the idea is to promote, and not only to promote, because we have the expectation that we have more reservoirs, granite or shale, that we can develop that and to produce a new energy or this kind of energy. And we are you can see there are a lot of research and actually some jobs on the field, like Utah Forge in Italy, in France as well, in Australia. There are many projects that they are going to promote the geothermal activities. I think that is for my part. Thank you for your time. And I think this is one slide more, but I think that is. Thank you, Mohamed. Thank you, Rebecca, for my time this time.
Thank you, Merkel. Thank you for that. What else?
This is what we want to do. It is sorry. What is your interest? What you as a young professional? What you want? Training, technology, mentoring, SP activities, networking. What is your interest, and how we can be involved in this? No, this is like a short survey.
Yeah, thank you, Merkel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation, Merkel. Thank you, for Rebecca, for your joining us today. Now that is just for questions for geothermal part. If you have a question for that, please share your question with us. Okay, I will start as I have a question for that for Merkel and Rebecca. As a petroleum engineer, what is required for me to have this training or brand new geothermal technical section? Especially, I'm a petroleum engineer, so working with wells. So, what is required for me as a technical part to have this training or cope with this training direction in the industry? That is for Rebecca or Merkel, who can answer this.
I can perhaps start with that one. And I apologize because I think my work setup here doesn't work with the Zoom camera. So I apologize if my camera's not working very well.
No problem.
And then I'll have to sign off probably after this one. Just to highlight, we are looking to build some training material, and we need your input to help us understand where the primary interests are so we know where to start. Because when we look at geothermal, we're looking, there's really two, in my mind, there are many differences, But there's in particular, let's say, three big differences when I think about geothermal compared to oil and gas activities. One of those is that you're originally producing heat instead of producing fluids. And so you're looking at heat transfer and then also the conduction and the conductivity of the heat in the rock instead of producing fluids in and out. The second of those is that geothermal, particularly for power generation, but sometimes also for heat, needs to produce quite a lot of fluid, quite a lot of water, in order to be able to generate enough power. And so we're talking in many cases that we're dealing with an order of magnitude more water than what we would typically be using in an oil and gas system. And so it's really a significant amount of water that we're handling. In the closed loop systems that Jerjes was describing before, we try not to produce those externally. So it's a closed loop that keeps running in the subsurface. So there's a lot of trials in that, because if we don't need to produce the water to surface and then later dispose of it, it's a great advantage. And then associated with that, there's a much stronger geochemical understanding that we need to have when we're dealing with geothermal. In part because as we're drilling to deeper but primarily hotter temperatures, the heat causes diagenesis and helps to increase the rate of diagenesis in the subsurface, and so you start to reduce your pore space in many reservoirs quite quickly, and you also have quite a different, let's say, array of chemistry in the subsurface as well. And so those differences combined with the amount of water that we need to handle mean that we need to have a much better understanding of geochemistry and how that impacts the subsurface, but also how it impacts our surface facilities. And so there's a lot to learn and to cross over between oil and gas and geothermal, especially from onshore and some of the conventional learnings and particularly the unconventional learnings from the last 5 years. But where to begin, and we're interested to learn first, is what we would like to understand, so that we know within our own board and our directors of well engineering and reservoir and facilities, they can start tackling some of those topics, and we can start pulling in some of the experts in creating some material for SPE so that we have that crossover. Jerjes, is there anything else you'd like to add into that?
No, I think that it's great. I think just as I said, I mentioned before, the idea is motivate all young professionals that this is, if you are looking for someone to some activities that how we can connect then for the new energy is the geothermal for us, because you are going to figure out that this geothermal industry has used many of our skills, many of our tools, as I mentioned, reservoir engineering, drilling engineering, and you are going to see that there are many of our tools that the geothermal industry use, and we can help and we can promote this kind of industry, as I mentioned, Rebecca. Yeah, thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank you, Marika. Thank you, Rebecca, for your insights and your answers. And for attendees today, I am one of the fans who will start follow this section, especially it's trending nowadays in the oil industry, and all petroleum engineering work with temperature and pressure. So it's related to our daily basis work routine. So it's good to join geothermal part and geothermal technical section to have insights about the new technologies about that and the new initiative about this part. Finally, we reached the final part of our YMAC Town Hall. It's one of the important parts in Town Hall to have sharing insights from other sections around the world, to have their insights and their activities for that. So I think we have today one of the amazing activities sections is Glaggery section. So it's time to you, Ada, for having your presentation. If you need to share my slides, your slides in my screen, I will share it now.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and share, and then I'll just.
I will. Okay, the mic is yours.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks for having us. So as you guys mentioned, we are the Calgary section. So we're out based, you can go to the next slide actually. I'm going to show you where we fit. So we are under the SPE Canada umbrella, under the Calgary section, and then within the Calgary section, we're the young professionals. Next slide, just a quick overview. Next slide, please. Just to show you who our committee is made up of. We have leads for programs, G&D, marketing, sponsorship, events, and our treasurer. And then underneath that, next slide, we have a pretty stacked team this year of very eager volunteers. My team has been very eager to put on amazing events for our members, especially having to navigate this new changing energy landscape, as well with the challenges brought on by COVID. It was really important for us to have a big committee to support that. Next slide, please. Here's just a slide on our goals specifically for SPE Calgary YP. Our main goals this year was to continue to put on a lot of programs and events that will inspire and motivate our young professionals to continue to pursue careers in the energy industry. Essentially, we want to make the energy industry great again. We want to attract more new people into our industry, continuous learning for our members, which then, and as well as great networking opportunities. You can go to the next slide. Okay. Here's just a quick overview of some of the things that we were able to put on from a webinars and G&D standpoint. For this year, we did a lot of the things virtually. As you can see here, our offerings change each year depending on what we consider as new hot topics to ensure that we are providing our members with more relevant and applicable programs. So this year we did run an ESG series, so environmental social governance series, to highlight all the things that are important to today's energy world. Some of the things I can highlight here. For programs wise, we did a zero emissions load following resource, and then we also did a webinar on hydrogen economy. Next slide. For the G&D energy literacy initiatives, we've been putting on something called Fracking with Jello. It's a pretty interactive means of letting children learn more about what fracking is. So we make little take-home kits, little Jello kits for them to take home to do with their families. This event was also hosted at a local trade school for an open house so that families can attend. We also did do this particular one here on the screen, was at the ATCE that was hosted in Calgary one year. Next slide. So historically, we've been doing a lot of our programs in person. Most of our venues were available to us through our sponsors. And then next slide. As you guys are all probably on the same boat, we have adapted to the new landscape with the pandemic, hosting a lot of our events virtually, which actually allowed us to have a lot more attendees and registrants, obviously, as more people can attend from all over the world, as long as the time zones work out. And we were able to record a lot of our events so that people can view them on YouTube after the fact, which we thought was really good. Another initiative that we've done this last 2 years is the data science mentorship program. There is a video, but I won't get you to play it. I can send it to you guys if you're interested. This year we have about 50 mentees paired against 13 mentors, for which they get together for about 5 months and they work on a project of choice, and then they have an opportunity to present it just to the general public. So 2 of the ones that were presented are highlighted on the side. I won't get you to play it, it's okay. Next slide. You can just move to the next slide. in the interest of time. So for events, for networking, we've been able to put on a lot of fun social networking events for our members. I personally grown my network, professional network through these events. So I myself is a huge advocate for hosting these networking opportunities. Mainly, our goal was to rebuild our YP community after the multiple downturns. Next slide, please. So again, with the pandemic, we did move a lot of our events virtually. So our events team has done an amazing job putting on various online trivias, office Olympics, which included the Family Feud. We did some charades, Pictionary, and other online games. Next slide. And then slowly this year, we began to transition back to in-person as long as our members were comfortable to do so. We've been getting creative. So we started off starting a Strava community so that people can participate in challenges either by themselves or with friends. These are all just trying to get people out of their house and focus on their mental health, do a lot of physical activities for chances to win prizes. And then for other in-person events that we slowly started to dabble back into, we did Pedal Pub, our annual golf tournament, and then we did a ski trip. And then lastly, yeah, just as you guys have all stated, we would really appreciate if you guys could share any of our virtual events, especially so that people can attend in you guys' sections, just to share knowledge. And these are our Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook handles. Yeah, thanks so much for letting us attend this. Any questions?
Thank you, Ada, for your insights in SPEYB Calgary. I will talk as on behalf of SPE Egypt. So we will, after this town hall, we will have cooperation with you. Especially, we have very, very amazing initiatives, especially related to energy transition and hydrogen energy. So we will connect with you after this town hall and have a connection, the cooperation after that. So you can share in the chat the LinkedIn and your social media profiles for SPEYB Calgary to facilitate for attendees to have a connection with you as SPEYB Calgary. Now is the time for question for SPEYB Calgary. If any one of attendees have a question for this section, please share it with us. Think now we don't have more than questions. So now thank you, Ada, again for your presentation and your insights about your section. Now I think we at the end of our town hall. So finally, if you need to reach us in LinkedIn, you can have an opportunity to volunteer in YMAC, especially in Petropol and social media. If you have interests in Petropol and in social media, you can have opportunity to volunteer and SPEYMAC. Also, if you have a potential for a sponsorship and you have a company can sponsor any of our programs, or you have a potential on working in previous experience in sponsorship, you can connect us in our LinkedIn profile and you can reach me. Finally, I have 2 slots before ending this this town hall. First of them is Nihal, the mic is yours if you have any insights to share with us in this town hall. Let's start firstly with virtual career pathway. James, you can share insights about this important, amazing event in next 2 weeks. You are muted, James.
Always the way, always the way. I was trying to be polite and not have sirens interrupt, but I will actually show you the Career Pathways Fair. I will give you a sneak peek. Nobody else has been able to see this yet, so thank you for joining the town hall, and I will show you. If you haven't been to the Career Pathways Fair before, or any career pathways fair before, the concept is pretty simple. It's to set up quickfire mentoring between students, YPs, and people doing the jobs that they're kind of aspiring to. So we know it's difficult for people to ask advice from people, particularly if they're potential employers, or maybe the kind of staff at university don't have the career experience, like up-to-date career experience that people are hoping for. So we developed the Career Pathways Fair to let you actually speak to these professionals in a kind of more candid way and an open way, and help you develop your career strategies and your career paths. So we started running these online about 4 years ago now, and this is our virtual way of doing the same thing. So when you go into the platform, you are able to go into our different career paths here. So we have a kind of like limited number of career paths that you can aspire to do. We kind of focus more on the EMP related career paths. So hopefully now that we've got geothermal and people coming in as well, we'll be able to broaden these. But the whole idea is to connect you to people doing the jobs already. So we have lots of these people, volunteers. We have about 150 volunteers, professional members ready to talk to you. So for example, if you're interested in a career in academia, you can go into the academia booth and you can see not only talk to people, but we have videos explaining more about career paths, and we also have links to all of the different resources that SP has to offer, from every committee, every kind of one Petro, everything all kind of in one place. So we know it's kind of challenging to find the resources that you need when you're trying to kind of look for like information about particular things, but you can hopefully we've worked really hard to kind of bring all of this together and show you everything in one place. So we have documents, we have like quick bites of information, we have links to websites and where you can find out more. But as I say, you can actually connect to people and talk to them who are doing those career paths as well. So it's a really, really good opportunity to do that. One of the new features that we have this year is, and this is something that people were asking for in previous years as well, so we're really happy to have this on board, is to actually speak to people one-to-one, like on video calls as well. So at the moment the event is closed, but you can see there's a few other people on here. You can just click on them and you can actually request to speak to these people straight away. So that's a new feature, hopefully much more engaging. You can talk to literally anyone in the world who's participating there. So we hope you make the most of that feature. And again, as we're online, we have our talent investment zone, all of your soft skill development, all of the committees that are kind of working to support you in your careers. They all have booths, including us, the Young Member Engagement Committee as well. So again, all of the resources that are specific to our programs, all in one place, so it's super easy to find. And again, we'll be online to talk to you about that as well. So lots of exciting things there. We have 9 presentations lined up. We have a networking area, and we have generally more information about SP as well in our pavilion, so you can find out about scholarships and other resources and just membership questions in general. So it's a really exciting platform. We're really we've got nearly like 3,000 people registered to sign up, so there really will be lots of people there to network with on the day. So it's a really exciting opportunity. It's free as well, so really no excuses, but I hope you can attend and join us. But I will stop there.
Thank you, James, for sharing these very great events. From the first day, this event is sharing insights about every industry. Nowadays, my work is related to an advice from one of the mentors I have met during the virtual career pathway. So all students, all fresh grad, and also YPs can share their insights about their work. So you can join us through this virtual career pathway. It's a good opportunity for all of us to have this gathering event in the end of April. Finally, thank you for all of us for attending today. Finally, I have a request for you. If you have ability to open your camera to have a final photo for this event today, please open your camera and have a photo, and finally close the event. I'm waiting for all of us opening the camera, please.
Put myself on a plane. Amazing.
Anyone else? Okay, please, James, take the photo, please.
Sure thing.
Okay.
One more second.
Take time.
Sorry, I look ridiculous in that one, but okay, fantastic. We're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you for attending today. You can reach us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook page at any time. We have a slot for sections YP to share our insights for networking more and have a better future for us. Thank you for attending today. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.